Hello, City of Heroes and City of Villains fans. It's Tommy again. I'm gonna sit here. I've got my new. Well, she's not new. I've had this character for a while, but I kind of revamped this character from an older build that I had. So I'm very satisfied with it. It's played very well. It's a dark blast. Sorry, not dark blast. It's a psionic blast, dark armor, psionic epic pool sentinel. And I think she plays really, 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 really well. I enjoy. I really enjoy playing her. She's got two massive AOE's, PBAOE's. Sorry, it's a fun character, and she's sturdy enough to take the heat when she jumps into melee to fire off those PBOAs. Well, I guess we should let's take a look at how she's built. I guess I should always start with that. Kind of inopportune moment here. Alrighty, so this is the build that I currently have for her. Just to make sure that those background noises from I'm just checking some settings here. I'm going to try to make sure that the background noises from the game aren't too loud. That's happened to me sometimes. So just a second while I check that. Okay, so I think I've got all the noise, background music disabled good. I like to do that when I stream because for some reason it gets really, really, really loud. And I don't know, might be my own special neurodiversity issues with that, but I'm probably bothers other people too. Anyway, here we go. So I've got telekinetic blast, will domination, psychic focus, sonic tornado, scrambled thoughts, psychic whale. I researched this attack chain, and I did a lot of research on the forums for this, and this seems to be the prevalent attack chain to use with psychic blast and a sentinel. Um, let's take a look at how it's how we're slotted here. So we've got a full set of sentinels, ward, will domination, a good old fashioned humble thunderstrike set. You just can't go wrong with thunderstrike. It's a great set. Sonic focus has just got a. I didn't put anything special in here. It's just to hit debuff endurance reduction in there from the adjusted targeting set. We've got a full set of annihilation. I looked into this. I have a lot of tunes, and this set was already in my inventory. And I'm like, ooh, lucky. So if you play a lot and you craft a lot, you're gonna end up with a bunch of stuff. I would say this for a new player: craft as much junk as you can. Sell what you can, keep what you can. If it looks good, keep it, and just accumulate stuff as you play. Just play, and accumulate enhancements and store them. You can create your own base for free, have your own home base. It's easy to do. Even I can do it. There's tutorials, YouTube videos on it. There's a post in the forums about it. There's a Reddit post about how to create a simple base. And creating a simple base is so easy. And you're going to be glad that you did. Create a base, store your enhancements and stuff, and build an empowerment station. We'll visit the empowerment station too. Scramble Thoughts has got an opportunity strike superior. I crafted this, and again, my base I had a whole bunch of I'd opened a few packs. As I accumulated money, I would buy the I call them lock boxes, but they call them superhero or supervillain packs here. And I would just open them up, and every pack you're guaranteed at least one or two ATOs. The thing is, you can flip those ATOs and keep flipping them until you get the one you want using, I forget what they're called, enhancement converters. So that's why converters sell so well in the market. So that's how I got this full set. I just flipped and flipped and flipped because I had so many converters, like tons and tons of converters that I was able to flip and flip until I got the full set that I wanted. If you're not ready for all that, just slot this with any generic damage that you can find that gives you some good bonuses. Again, good old fashioned Thunderstrike might go here. No, maybe not though. Thunderstrike is. Let me look. Range damage, and this is. Yep, it would take Thunderstrike as well, or a stun set. Um, so you can slot some cheapies in there while you're waiting. Psychic Whale. This is a really. It's got Obliteration, which is a melee AOE damage set. Pretty cheap. Pretty easy to find on the exchange. Um, Good old-fashioned titanium coating. One of the cheapest armor resistance sets here in Dark Embrace. Very easy to find that as well. These two ATOs that I'm using Shadow Dweller, which is an always on power, so it doesn't cost any endurance. So those type of abilities are good to slot and mule in some unique. So I've got this teleportation protection plus I think 5% resistance to everything, and then which is great. That 5% doesn't sound like stuff, but when it starts stacking with the other resistances that you have, it makes a difference. Numina's Convalescent, Regeneration Recovery. I try to get that in any build, slot that in. Another good old set of old-fashioned titanium coating. This guy, this Obsidian Shield set, I've noticed an anomaly here, and I'm going to fix it while we're in here. So Obsidian Shield has got Unbreakable Guard in it, which is a little bit of a pricier set, but like I said, I had a lot of characters, so I was able to afford that. I could have slotted other titanium coating in there, but let's take a look. This is how you change. Oh, I thought I might have some in it. Let's go to our base, because I actually want to demonstrate this. And I know my posts are a little ADHD. Just roll with it, dude. Roll with my randomness. Know that my randomness is done with love. My goodness. So super base. Get your own super base. Put it together. It's super easy. It is not hard. You can get a plain plot with a couple of rooms on it. And you can store stuff for when you need it. And you're going to get so much junk, so much salvage that you normally would just sell or not use well. And you can just come in here and enhancement converters. Those convert enhancements into different types. I might demonstrate that one day, how that works. Here we go. So I'm looking for an enhancement catalyst. I just need one catalyst. Alright. So we're going to go back into managing here. And we're going to click this. And this catalyst is going to transform that Unbreakable Guard into I forget what you call it, but anyway, that when the set's enhanced that way, it will work no matter what level you are. It turns it into a levelless enhancement basically that will even if you exempt down, you'll still get the set bonuses and benefits from it. Whereas if it wasn't catalyzed, it would anything below a certain level, you wouldn't get the benefits from it anymore. So you don't want to, that's one reason to catalyze all of your enhancements. Then we've got a very common set of Preventative Medicine is an Obscure Substance, which is our heal. Cloak of Fear has got Cloud Senses. Anytime I can get Cloud Senses into any type of to hit debuff power, I'm going to do that. So I chose to enhance the to hit debuff and not the fear duration. Oppressive Gloom. I looked out. I ran a mission and I happen to have in storage a desync, accuracy, and med just sitting in my sitting in my storage. So I use that. Soul Transfer's just got something a generic heal absorb in there. That's fine. That's my self res. Cloak of Darkness. It's weird. I don't have anything in there. I could slot something in there. I could slot a unique, or I don't know, or just an endurance reducer. I think for now, I'm just gonna slot a plain old endurance reducer in there. Celerity, I always put celerity in sprint. At early levels, it's just helpful. Rest, I've just got a generic heal IO, a flight. So you can put flight, run, or run in Swift to make you go faster, flying or running. I put the flight in there. Hurdle's empty. I could stick a jump enhancement if I wanted to. Health has got a Miracle plus Recovery. That's usually either Miracle Recovery or Numina's Regeneration Recovery will go on health for me almost every time. Always as usual, I 3-slot that efficacy adapter and get that 1.5% in recovery. It doesn't sound like much, but it's as good as a proc, and it's not as expensive. So I do that a lot. Spirit Ward, another desync heal and absorb. I think I had that laying around. I very rarely buy this stuff on exchange, so they're so expensive. I usually can't afford them. There's like 10, 20 million. 8 million, 10 million, 20 million for those things, and I can just if I think I ran something and got this as a drop. I feel like it was a run of the I can't think of Dr. Ann's task force. I think I got that from that. This one in Mystic Flight. So Mystic Flight is interesting in because it's two travel powers in one. It's flight. It's also a teleport baked into it. So Blessing of the Zephyr is a universal enhancement for travel power. So for teleport, it will increase the range, and for flight, it will increase the flight speed. And also, it's a blanket endurance reduction for this one. So I like to keep these around. I like Blessing of Zephyr. Tough again. Tough and weave. I'm gonna have always have some variation in tough and weave on most of my builds. In this case, I chose to. So one or two things will either happen when I use tough or weave. One of them will be 4 or 5 slotted, and one of them will be kind of muling. So in this case, this time around, I chose to for tough. I chose to just fully slot tough to get the most resistance damage I can, since I have I'm running a resistance damage primary set. I'm sorry, secondary set armor, and then for weave, weave is just muling a luck of the gambler and a scaling damage resistance. This also gives damage resistance to all. It looks a little weird in mids, but it works well. Teleport target. I always like to have that because it's nice to be able to port your buddies around, and sometimes it's helpful if like a pet or something is blocking the door, or if someone's lost on the map. It's nice to have teleport target. I like to keep that around. Again, that was a build tip I picked up on the forums, and if I can keep a hold of it, I can. And I've got a Winter's Gift slotted in there that helps you resist slow, which is great. Mass Hypnosis, which I'm learning to love since the sleep revamp. I'm going to tell you, people are low-key sleeping on sleeps. They're incredibly powerful now. Look up the deep sleep mechanic in the forums, or Google it, deep sleep mechanic, or deep sleep, city of heroes, city of villains, deep sleep. And sleep's amazing now. People haven't caught on yet, or I think people get into their habits, so they don't change out of their habits even when things have been improved. They've heard a rumor that they read on the internet that something sucked, and they stick with it even though it no longer sucks. It's the case with Sentinels in general, but a lot of characters get access to sleep. But the real reason I went to Sonic Mastery is this Psychic Shockwave. That gives me two quickly recharging two quickly recharging PBAOEs. That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Linked Minds, I should put something in there. I don't know. I need to maybe put another Luck of the Gambler endurance and recharge in there, maybe. Help it recharge a little bit quicker. This slot's just kind of sitting empty. I think I was doing the build, and I was trying to figure it out, and I was looking at older builds on the internet to try to look and see what other people had done, and I think I ended up with an extra slot. And I was just like, I'll just slap it down here and got nowhere else to put it. But probably an endurance could go there, or another defense could go in there. Defense and endurance could go in there actually, and that would be good. Defense and endurance or dimension recharge, and that would give it a little extra defense if possible. Let's look at sort of what she's got going on as far as her combat attributes. So she's damage resistance based, so she has decent damage resistance. It doesn't look all that great, but she's proven to be quite sturdy with dark armor. It probably could be a little bit higher. Oh, wait a minute. It is going to be a little bit higher when I toggle my powers on. That's just from the set bonuses. Aha! After her powers are actually toggled on, her defenses, you see that was a great improvement. She's at cap for psionic resistance, which kind of fits her background. And near cap, near soft cap and cap towards other things. And this has been good enough for me. Her defenses, she has adequate, I think, defenses for resistance-based tune. Link Mines I needed to put a defense in that Link Mines to give it a little bit more, so we can get it closer to 4-5% there. She's resistance to a lot of stuff. She definitely has status effect resistance due to her armors, as well as the set bonuses. This is why people go nuts for sets. All these little tiny, don't seem like very much bonuses start to add up. That is how City of Heroes and City of Villains works when it comes to set bonuses, when it comes to slotting enhancement sets. It's tiny little bonuses that don't appear like much, but when you start adding them up, she's getting an extra from the set bonuses, if we turn off her powers, she's getting an extra 30% in some cases. Resistance. 17% extra resistance, another 30% extra resistance, 20% extra resistance down there. On top, and then when you toggle her powers on, it's a whole different ballgame. And we might as well look at the Empowerment Center, because I want to show you something about this is another reason to have a base. You get yourself an Empowerment Center. And you're going to acquire more salvage than you know what to do with. You're going to, what do I do with all this salvage? You got all this salvage, all this junk. I crafted, I still got junk, a bunch of salvage. Guess what? Your Empowerment Center. Go to your Empowerment Station that you put in your base. They're easy to place in the base. Go find out how to build a base. Get yourself an Empowerment Center. And then you can craft yourself some extra things. Like, I'm just going to craft a couple things so we can look and see how they're in the thing here. Oh, I've crafted some already, so I can't craft anymore. Let's see. Oh, crap, fire resistance. I can craft that. So let's take a look. So we can see here, actually. See the extra smashing resistance? That 5% extra smashing resistance? That's from the Empowerment Center. They're always 5%. An extra 5% lethal from the Empowerment Center. An extra 5% against cold. And then an extra 5% defense against fire. This is all from the Empowerment Center. And then movement-wise, I've got a flying speed. I did craft an extra fly, but I don't see it in here. It might be this large one. But anyway, I did craft a fly speed enhancement as well. And that's in there, giving me extra flying speed info. Here we go. It's giving me an extra 20% strength to fly speed on self. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, the Empowerment Centers are fantastic. Increased attack rate's one of my favorite ones. If you're running a Dominator, that's a good one. That's a good one to constantly get yourself on a Chaos Theorem. I think I've got a Chaos Theorem in storage. Let's go craft that. They'll put that on top of our I'll give our mixture, our powers will recharge a little bit faster, and I do have Chaos Theorem. This is why you need see why a base is useful? Almost anything I need, I've gotten for free in the game, and I've stored in my base. All this salvage that's useful for creating things. Enhancements that I need, stuff that I need. You play for a while, you're gonna be surprised at how much stuff you acquire that's useful. Alright. So now she's got an extra % recharge in there. So now she's got let's see what should be under here. Recharge time bonuses. So she's got, well, her recharge is already being boosted by all these buffs that she's got. 83%, and then the attack speed adds another 20%. So that's that 20% extra speed of recharge time bonus makes sure all her powers will recharge faster. I hate math, but I'm assuming 83% faster. Somebody that understands the math of it, let me know, but you can tell the difference when you're playing. I might look and see before we embark on our adventure if I've got an extra luck of the gambler hanging out in here that I wanna stick into Link Mines. And if I don't, I'm not going to really worry about it because this character does well without all that. I don't think I do. This is where I store all my ATOs after I open the packs. So if I have a character that I want that needs a certain set of ATOs, there's some winters in there stored too. I think I opened a couple of those winter packs as well. I don't see an extra luck of the gambler, so I'm just going to let that roll for now. I don't want to fiddle with that. But yeah, build a base, store stuff. Every time something drops that you can craft it. Especially if it's yellow or orange or purple. Craft it. Like I've got a bunch of stuff here waiting I'm going to craft eventually. Craft the stuff and store it. Essence of the Furies. Let's craft one of these so you can see how it works. I might do a whole video just about that. I'm pretty sure I've got an Essence of the Furies hanging out in here. Because if it's orange or yellow, I store it. There's one. I take it back to the base. I store it. I don't sell it. I keep all that salvage. That salvage is incredibly valuable. And this game just drops it to you. Just hands it to you. Was that the one I wanted to craft? I guess so. We'll just craft it. So that hypersonic flight, I crafted that at this little tiny station here. That's now here. And I'm going to put away just more stuff. I'm not very organized, so I probably do need to get better at organizing the recipes into, like, putting them all together so that the like is with like. But that's just an example. So my advice to you, get a base. It's very easy to do. This is just one big room that I added a couple little rooms to the side. It's easy to do in the base editor. Slap yourself in some storage salvage racks, some enhancement storage racks, your own personal Ouroboros portal, so you don't have to jump around. And that maybe I should demo that and show how having the Ouroboros portal for yourself. It's so easy to get back to get back to the Ouroboros portal because you just go to your base, just teleport to your base. There are generic bases on each server that are open for everyone to use. You can usually ask in chat, game chat, what they are if anyone has a passcode to them or a macro for them that you can use, and you can use those. And those bases tend to have all the amenities except for storage. Except for the storage, you're not going to be able to store your enhancements there. But you'll see there's usually a pillar of ice and flame there that you can use. There'll usually be a vault that you can use to store some salvage in. Not as efficient as storage in the salvage racks. There will always be empowerment stations. There'll be a nurse there that you can buy stuff from if you need enhancements. But you can set this all up for yourself. Alrighty. I think I feel like doing... the Pillar of Ice and Flame at the base is so useful. Let's see. We do some Dark Astoria missions. That could be interesting. We could do one of the Night Ward arcs. That could be interesting. I've already done this one before. She was actually able to defeat the elite boss in this by herself, which was crazy. I was shocked. I was sure I was gonna die. Oh, I haven't done this yet. People are not doing some of the newer content. They're just running into Paragon Island and doing the same old boring stuff that they've been doing for almost 20 years. I'll probably exaggerate with 20 years. I think the game's only hasn't been out that long, like 15 years, maybe 14 years. But regardless, it's like there's all this other content to do, guys. Why are you just doing the same old stuff over and over? The same old boring radio missions, the same old portal missions. There's a crap ton of stuff to do. Leave Paragon Island. Leave Paragon Island. That's what I want to start screaming in chat. For Christ's sakes, go to the Night Ward. Go to Cimarara. Go Villain-side. Do some stuff Villain-side that you've never done before. Go to the new Callisti Wharf. Leave Paragon Island. But anyway, this might be fun. I believe this is I think she's Sister Valeria. So let's see. Blessings upon you, lady. Nice. It would seem the fates have awakened to once again place a warrior at my doorstep in time of great need. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Sister Valeria, and in this chaotic time of transition and upheaval in Cimarora, I have burdened myself with the task of cleansing the land of evils that plague us once and for all. If you be strong, brave, and relentless, together we shall restore Cimarora to order and peace. The events of this arc take place after the events of the Imperious Task Force during the conclusion events. I think this is kind of a limited to level 53. I wonder if that's part of the new stuff that they're doing. So I'm going to say what needs to be done. I'm just going to accept it. I'm going to leave all my power settings there. What I'm also going to do is, I think I'm set kind of hard mode. Yeah, she did plus 2 times 8 by herself, which she can totally do, but I'm not feeling that today. We're going to just maybe do... I'm going to do... oh, no, not that. Let's see. So adjust level to plus 2. Plus 2 because, honestly, because of the incarnates and incarnate level shift, and this is incarnate content we're about to play, everything's going to be gray if I do it even level. That's going to be way too easy. And we'll just do 4. Team size 4. Anything below team size 4 is just so easy for her. It's ridiculous. I'm going to teleport to contact from the base. So this character is a fun character. If you're noticing my little down here in the left hand corner, right hand corner there, you see Runveil and you see that Jin kind of hovering over. So she is my homage or inspired iteration of Raven from Teen Titans. But the one thing I don't like about, so I've seen people replicate this character in a couple of games, the Raven character, or a character based on Raven, or a character similar to Raven in a couple of video games that I've played. And the thing is, Raven is a freaking tank. Raven can dish out the damage and take damage. She does not fall on easy. Though people pick something weak like a defender or something for her, I'm like, I mean, yeah, I get it. But I think, this is more interesting as a Sentinel. So another reason I have Sentinels. Sentinels can play that classic comic book character who can fire blast after blast after blast and take an enormous amount of damage and be hard to take down. That's why I like Sentinels. Sentinels are the classic comic book character. But anyway, so this character's backstory is she was a student, a college student and she got involved with studying the occult, and she found a dusty old tome, and it had a spell in it that she wanted to try, and she tried the spell, but instead she unleashed an evil djinn, an evil dark djinn, and the dark djinn was going to go out and cause havoc in the world. Realizing what she'd done, she had studied enough magic to attempt to bind the demon. So she spoke an incantation to bind the demon that she had learned with her limited magical ability. But what she did instead is she drew the demon into her own soul. So the demonic djinn is now trapped in her soul. But he's like a power battery for her now, filling her with dark energy. And expanding her own limited psychic powers were expanded greatly. And so I replicated this with a psychic blast. It's a really good way to replicate that. And then dark armor, which has kind of all kinds of fears and stuns and stuff like that going on with it. I'll toggle this stuff on too. And that, I forgot to toggle on everything. Oh, now she's just ridiculous now. Now she's at cap now she's at cap for some stuff now that she wasn't for before when I toggled on this tough and weave, which is why tough and weave is important. People don't think tough and weave matter. Slot up tough and weave. That extra tiny percentage points will put you at the resistance cap or defense cap, and that is so important, especially if you're tanking a lot of stuff. But anyway, so she's a more aggressive version of that type of character, of that type of sort of the young girl with a mystical demon or a mystical or a dark, what do you want to call it? A dark origin. And what's kind of neat, what I liked about this too, is all the stacking. So I guess we should talk about the stacking before we start too. There's some interesting things that are going on with this. So this Wheel of Domination is a sleep. That sleep stacks with Mass Hypnosis, and you'll see that in action in the game. The stun from Scramble Thoughts stacks with Depressive Gloom. The 2 Psychic Wail and Psychic Shockwaves, boom boom, also are stuns, stacking with Expressive Gloom, stacking with Scramble Thoughts. It starts to get insane. It really just starts to get insane. So inside we go. And this is just plus 2 times 4. I ain't trying to get all sweaty and worked up in here. Overheated, trying to do stuff, so I've got these 2. I picked the Phantoms because hardly anybody ever picks them. I could have picked the Banished Pantheon Demons because that would have went with her, but I don't know. Everybody picks the same thing all the time. It starts to get boring. And I'm going to do this. A Barrier. She doesn't really need Barrier. It's ridiculous for her to have Barrier, but here we go. Oh gosh, I forgot about Void. So hardly everyone picks this either. Void Judgment is incredibly good. So she's got 3 hard-hitting PBOAs, and she's doing tons of hit debuffs. It just gets ridiculous. The whole thing just starts to get ridiculous after a while. So we're gonna. Already the stuns are happening. Her range is nuts, too. Like, the whole thing's ridiculous. Even at +2, they're conning blue to her. I really have got to learn to start using opportunity strikes more. I keep forgetting to use it. I mean, just ridiculousness. I don't really care about the knockback. I could do something about the knockback in this power if I wanted to. Let's see if the stun stack here on him. It did. He's stunned. Simmer Ruins resist sleep though, so sleep was not going to be an effective tool against them because they have a high level of sleep resistance. But the stuns are still working, and it's just ridiculous. With the incarnates going, I mean, with the incarnates going, she's fighting +2s, which are really to her not +2s because of her incarnate level shift. If anybody knows how to see what your incarnate level shift is, would you let me know? Because I still can't figure out how to show yourself it's working, but you can tell it's working because of how they're conning. Just ridiculous. So we're just gonna do this, and we'll just mark one of the tough guys with the. Oh, we can get rid of that surgeon. I guess we'll debuff him. The whole thing's just ridiculous. I'm not really playing optimally here either. I mean, in barrier, being able to have barrier on a tune like this, it should be. Very few games would allow it. Very few games. The ridiculousness that we're allowed to do in COH and City of Villains and Heroes, games these days just don't allow it. There's no way. The sleeps and the holds that last for a while, the strong confusions, like very few games allow that. Modern games allow that. And City of Heroes just allows you to be so overpowered. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely insane. Oh, I've got one. I didn't have one of my auras on even. I don't even have everything on. Okay, we need to get rid of that soldier. This level 53 here is going to be a little tough, though. I am looking forward to the new and improved opportunity, and the Sentinel Inherent's getting a little bit of a buff because I think that will be helpful. And you can see some of the stacking that's happened with him. Every now and then the stun stacks. But Simmer Ruins resist a lot of holds and stuns and stuff, so. And sleeps. They're very highly resistant to things. So he was a little tougher to kill. But again, he was level 53. He's a level 53 boss. He should be tougher to kill. You shouldn't be waltzing through level 53 bosses. But again, I mean, she's just wiping out whole mobs. Like I said, she can handle +4 × 8, but it gets a little difficult to do that. Not that it's difficult. No, it is difficult to do, but also it's exhausting. Look at all that stacking. Fear, stun, sleep. She's just dark armor in and of itself is always good. I didn't see this. You know what? I didn't notice this guy had transformed into a dwarf. Forgot in this arc, some of the characters, some of the NPCs can transform into, are possessed by Chaldeans and can transform. I could herd this. He's good enough to herd. Like I have herd with her, so I'm just gonna see if we can. We're gonna see if we can get them to come up and try to beat me up. Sleep isn't as effective on these guys because they resist it. But on I've had other mobs that were not tough as the Cimarruns. That I can shut the whole alpha down. I can shut the whole alpha strike down. I see that Cupid confused went off on the boss. That's kind of nice. That was an unexpected event, and he started taking out his compadres. You see those little hearts hovering above the guy's head? That is the confused proc growing off in the Cupid's arrow set that I slotted into one of my AoEs. See, he won't sleep. Oh, he did sleep. It's stacked enough mag to finally sleep him, which is hard to do with these guys. So that's the stack effect, because a single one of those sleeps alone would not have slept him, but the combination of the AoE sleep combined with will domination, that stacked on him. Might have been enough recharge too that I was able to stack a couple of the will dominations on him. Actually I see will domination sleeping. I thought they were immune to sleep. But maybe they're not as immune to sleep as I thought. Maybe they're just resistant to sleep. I usually can't sleep these guys. I'm not sure what's happening, unless I misinterpreted something, which is entirely possible. But I thought Cimarruns resisted sleep, or were immune to sleep. That'll be interesting. If I was watching this later, you can let me know what you think. What happened there. Alrighty. I'm going to toggle on. I could do the flight, but I have trouble flying in caves. I'll just fly into the walls. So I always keep swift or athletic run. I tend to use the sprint because I can stick that celerity in sprint, which gives me a... Oh, also too, celerity. That celerity that's in here that's giving me stealth is stacking with the stealth from the Cloak of Darkness. Take a peek. And let's look at that too. There's a lot of stacking of things going on here. So that increases my stealth. I've seen people wonder how to stealth missions. So another trick. Super speed plus celerity. So you want to put celerity in sprint, and you want to run super speed, and you run sprint and celerity sprint and super speed at the same time, and you will have a nice, that's not what I'm doing here, but you have a nice amount of stealth. You can also go to the empowerment station and craft grant invisibility, which is weird. It's worded weird because it's actually grant stealth to you, not grant invisibility to others, but it will give you a passive stealth that will stack with most of the other stealths in the game. There are some special circumstances where stealths kind of don't stack, but that's really complicated. I don't want to get into that right now. There's certain powers like infiltration and some other abilities where there's some limit on the stealth stacking. And it's just the fact that I've got this barrier that I could use at any time. It's just a ridiculous amount of survivability. If you were looking at my other video, that's what I was saying, like, if I had on that Sentinel, if I had access to my incarnates, I would have taken hardly any damage. You're seeing that evidenced here. You're seeing that evidenced here. It's just ridiculous. Like, I should definitely be taking way more damage than I'm taking. Like, I'm just laughing at these guys. See, the confused proc went off. That confused proc goes off rather frequently in that AoE. I just saw it fire off again. The biggest problem that I have with sentinels and large mobs is that the running. Because most of my sentinels are designed to take advantage of some kind of secondary effect, whether that's endurance drain, fears, stuns, and they tend to whittle the enemies down, energy level. I mean, whittle their health down fast. They get a lot of range. So this guy, see that blue purple aura around him? He's possessed by a Nictus, so he is more than likely going to turn into a Nictus while we're fighting, into a Chaldean. This is a little sloppy here. See, sometimes the sleep is working, and sometimes it's not. I'm very confused. What's going on with sleep? A couple of times I've been hitting that sleep. This guy's stunned and feared, so we might as well just make short work of him. The other guy will be back. I could chase after him if I wanted to. This is not a defeat all, though. But I kind of am annoyed that he ran from me. Gosh, he took off. Oh, well. I'm not going to chase after him. I'm not going to go wander around looking for him. I'm just going to look for through these dead bodies. Or these piles of thing to find some dark power. And keep it moving. Alrighty. So now we're going up the hill here. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Okay, this room looks like there's a lot of nonsense going on in it. And I bet you that the garrison leader is in here. So there are some unbound Nictuses. There's a named, I think I saw a named Shadow Crystal. Astaria. So there's definitely a named boss here. Ooh, a Dark Sybil. That's kind of cool. I have not run this arc before. This is a fun story. Let's, I'm going to be kind of sloppy. I could do some herding. I guess I could do a little herding. Pull them down in here so that they'll all come running. It's easier to kill a bunch of them when they're all clumped together. I'm going to try to wait a little bit here. That fear just went off. It was insanely insane. So she can definitely farm, by the way. With all the PBOAs and stuff, she can farm. The only problem I don't like farming with her is she doesn't have a real good way of... I mean, I guess I could respec her epic pool, but then I would lose... that third, I would lose that third PBOA, and I don't want to give it up. Alright. I think the toughest looking thing here, is that elite boss. Let's see. Let's just see if we can handle this. I think that we can. Okay, you need to die. Okay, that was not what I intended to have happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bop over here. And I'm going to try to pull everybody down again. So I can get them all in a nice big clump. As opposed to trying to fight everybody separately. Get a little help from my little buddies here. See if they... Oh, they're not... Oh, they decided not to try to get me. Alright, well, it looks like we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and pray we don't die. Let's see if I can at least craft a luck. Oop, I crafted a sturdy instead. That'll have to do. And if I can craft any... No, can't craft any damage enhancers. So we're going to give this a shot. I am not looking forward to this because that elite boss looks nasty. But we're going to give everything... We're going to give it a shot and see what's going on here. Well, we got our barrier up, so that's good. All right. Elite boss. Oh, did not mean to knock the elite boss. Okay, I probably should do something about that knockback. Oh, I confused her though. The boss is confused. How did I get a stat confused on a boss? I'm not sure what mechanic caused that, but I ain't mad at it. That elite boss is just. That level 52 elite boss is just melting under my attacks, which I'm really surprised by. I mean, this is hardly even a contest. And it's a crying shame. And I mean, this is a sloppy gameplay. Yeah, I don't know how that, but I'm very happy I slotted that Cupid's arrow set into one of my powers because that confuse has gone off several times quite well when I needed it. And I think, oh yeah, the Cloak of Fear is giving me knockback protection for each one that I feared. Dark Armor is really low-key good, especially on Sentinels, but I think some of the Sentinel buffs to the armor sets were ported over to the other ATs. Just trying to standardize them. Um, so, so this is a flashback mission, so that's why everything turns kind of sepia after you finish a mission. That was just crazy. Like, she just tanked that elite boss. She just ripped him to shreds. But by the way, Sentinels are underpowered. I just want let's just remember what people keep saying. Sentinels are underpowered. They're underpowered. I'm like slapping through elite bosses and laughing. That does not feel underpowered to me. Let's go back to Sister Valeria because we haven't earned a way to speak with her. I guess cell phones don't exist in this era. I would assume it. Yeah, that was just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So we're just gonna zoom back over here to Sister Valeria. Hello, dear sister. I'm saddened to hear the loss of Sedaris. That was the possessed seer that we fought. I'm sorry, no, that was the elite boss. He was once a proud, noble man, and now it seems that he only remembered that in a moment of clarity during his final moments, he's possessed by the Nictus, I guess. I will attend to his wife and bring her to the temple if she needs protection and sanctuary. So the background story for these guys is they're kind of like Amazons in this City of Heroes universe, but in Cimarora in the past, these are the women who've become warriors or soldiers after losing their husbands or suffering something horrible in war, and now they're protected by the gods, quote unquote, and have formed like an elite women only enclave in Cimarora for women warriors. But anyway, I'm deeply disturbed by reports that he was treating with a Sibyl. As of this morning, all of our wards have been accounted for. So wherever that person be, they were not one of ours. Be wary, friend, because treachery and deception seem to be at their apex when the Dark Ones are in the motion. Dark Ones are the Nictus. Trust nobody, and if you must trust someone, ask for blood. A Dark One bleeds lavender and cannot hide from that. Oh, I didn't know that. Sister Valeria pulls out a small dagger from her belt and runs the edge across her left palm. She holds her palm to show it bleeds. She bleeds true, obviously red blood. A Sibyl rushes up with bandaging, her hands wrapped in similar cloth. Valeria refuses her for the moment. Ask about available missions. It is good to see you again, champion of fate. I have conferred with my attendants, the Sibyls, and held a brief audience with Sister Solaris about the nature of this map. There is agreement amongst us that the map makes little sense, There are no true routes between these points. However, it is possible that these routes have been carved into the earth itself. Sister Valeria points to a spot on the map just off the Cimarroan coast. I will ask you to investigate this area next, to determine what, if any, truth it is to be learned from the map. Truth is to be learned from the map. This cavern was once the site of a fierce battle with the Dark One. Vanquished shortly after Imperius' cohort purged a set of stones from the ancient caves. Evil fled there once. Evil fled there once, it could be there anew. I think it should be evil lived there once, not evil fled there once. That's how I would have written it. But anyway, be on your guard, friend. I'll head there now. This is a really good, considering my character's personal backstory, this is a rather good arc for her to run. I'm all about the story. Also, let's see, so I've got teleport found here. So it's called translocation. It is inherently part of the Mystic Flight power. So in Mystic Flight, you get two powers. You get teleportation and flight. There's a couple of new travel abilities in the game where this is the case, where you get an additional ability on top of it. And then for teleportation, to make teleportation easy, if you do get a teleportation ability, look for teleportation binds or teleportation macros in the forums or on Reddit or in the Discord, or ask for one, because it just helps so much. Teleportation can be a tricky ability to use, and it goes from being clunky and horrible to use to being incredibly fun and easy to use with a good teleportation bind or good teleportation macro. Look at this. I don't think I've ever been in here before. Huh. This looks like this was part of the zone that was unlocked. For a while, parts of Cimarroa were blocked off, and this new development team that took the game over, the volunteer team that runs the game now, unlocked huge portions of it. And I'm wondering if this was always the case to unlock it, but the original team just never had the chance. Some of the content, I'm wondering if it was stuff that was sitting around that the team that took over, or the rogue team that brought the game back from the dead, went into, I think, into those files, I wonder, and reactivated some stuff, or built on stuff that had just been started and completed projects. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful map. I've not seen this map before. It's absolutely gorgeous. Nice map. Okay, so as usual, we're gonna toggle on our. Here's a neat little trick. You can teleport into mobs too sometimes if you're feeling spicy. See, sometimes the sleep works and sometimes it doesn't, and I'm trying to figure out what the secret sauce is. Other than I'm wondering if there's times where it's stacking, which is like going to probably be the actual sleep issue. Is sometimes that will domination is, I believe, stacking with. Oh, look at that! Nictus transform. Yeah. He's a Dark Nictus now. Come on, Dark Nictus. I'm going to toggle in for some danger here. And we're going to also apply our debuff to him. Now, are the Dark Nictus immune to sleep? They are not. Just took that dark. We took that Dark Nictus out. I don't know, 6 or 7 hits maybe. It was hard to say, but the Dark Nictus kind of, we were able to take him out, and that was a boss, pretty powerful boss actually. Yeah, like the stuff that she pulls off, and this quickly recharging barrier, probably the most OP thing you could give a tanky character. Probably not as OP on the squishies, but definitely OP on some character that's already a little tanky. And this thing is basically, Sentinels are tank mages. Let's just tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. Sentinels are tank mages. There's no other way to get around it. These guys are so beautifully lined up for death. That's Now that's how you take out a spawn. I mean, I could probably up the difficulty on this if I wanted more of a challenge. Just one shot that minion there. It's a really pretty map. But yeah, so I'm going to say one of my top picks, I think now, for a Sentinel is definitely Psychic Blast plus Dark Armor plus the Psychic Power Pool set. Epic Pool set. It's just so juicy. And there's all kinds of ways I could have slotted this. I wanted to play with the sleep, so I slotted the sleep. But I could have easily not done the sleep and juiced up Link Mines to get it to recharge faster or something like that. Dominate and Mind Probe are incredibly stupid on this build. They do a crap ton of damage without even having to be procced up. Without having to be reliant on. Ooh, who are these mad cultists? Well, this is an entirely different group. I've never fought this group before. Ooh, looks like some type of a cult. Okay, so as a Call of Cthulhu fan, I don't know how many HP Lovecraft Call of Cthulhu folk listening around these parts. This is right up my alley. I like this. No, this is fantastic. This is great. Oh, is that a elite boss down there? Sure is. Yeah, we'll get Mr. Minotaur in a minute. I want to just craft some quick self-damage buffs because I can see a couple ways to make those. And I am big on using Skittles. The secret overpowered ability in this game are the inspiration drops. And I never really see players mention it much in their streams and stuff, but how overpowered these things are. See if these guys are susceptible to sleep. Yeah, just ridiculous. But you know, Sentinels are underpowered. They needed a buff. Sentinels needed a buff. They're underpowered. I am frightened with how good this particular Sentinel is going to be after it's buffed. After all the buffs, the opportunity buffs, there's another elite boss. I'll have elite bosses here for Solar. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely nuts. But, you know, people demanded it, and they felt like they really needed the buff. So this is what we got. My thing is, why would you ever play a blaster? After these get buffed, there will be really... You're going to be hard-pressed to convince me to play a blaster. You're just going to be hard-pressed. And I know what the argument will be. Well, blasters can do all that too. Blasters can get the armor. Yeah, but the investment that you have to put into the blaster, the monetary investment, a cheap blaster build is not a durable blaster build. You've got to put money, millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of infamy into it to get a blaster build that can survive in melee, can fire off a bunch of attacks, has lots of armor. Like, you've got to really, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to make these guys aggressive because they're being way too... I'm not sure why pets were not fighting, but sometimes it helps mid-fight to swap them to aggressive. To make them. So I'm kind of concentrating on the fight now because I want to make sure I don't get killed by the Cyclops. So I'm just calculating the abilities I'm going to use and stuff like that. Making sure I'm using my Sentinel Inherent, which I often forget to use. Making sure I'm using my aim build up here to increase my damage. Sometimes the pets get a little stupid and just stand there. If you change their stance to aggressive or attack my target, what I don't want is I don't want him going over that cliff. Ooh, did he just heal himself? Naughty. Oops, but of course I just clicked him over the cliff because, you know. This is a Tommy live stream, and it ain't a Tommy live stream unless something goes horribly wrong. There are a lot of elite bosses down here. This might be a good mission to take a lobby on and level them up with, but oh, you can't do that because it's Ouroboros, so they've got to be the same level as the mission in order to get into it. But if you could get her as a contact outside of Ouroboros, which you can, and save this as like a farm mission. This would be a good farm mission to save up. And just have your and level up your lobbies. I can see a team of 4 people with their alts parked at the door, and then the rest of the team coming in here to do stuff. Ooh, you're a nasty little guy, aren't you? And this is where incarnates come in and kind of make the difference. There's also an example of me like talking and not paying attention. Yeah, he's a little tougher than some of the other elite bosses we faced. And remember, this is designed for a team of 4. He might actually get a lucky shot in and kill me. Yeah, this guy's a toughy. This is a little bit more than I bargained for, than I thought I was going to get on this mission. Wow, he was hard to fight. A dark Nictus infused Minotaur. It sounds like a nightmare, and it really was. That would have been challenging for a full team. And he definitely resisted all the mazes. You can see that the sleep is going off here. That little struggle move they're doing now, that's new. Sleep's adding kind of like a deep sleep mechanic, which is functioning in many ways like a ghetto hold. So even if they're attacked, certain enemies, even like that confused, it's going off so frequently and it's beautiful. So even if it used to be with sleep that the enemies were slept until attacked, and then once attacked, oh gosh, and then once they got attacked, they would wake up and attack you. So people didn't like that. They thought that wasn't useful hold. Now it's got the deep sleep mechanic, and oh, there are 2 elite bosses per. Yeah, there are 2 elite bosses per mob here. Wow, this lady is really. This lady is really doing big things here. But a lot of this is some of this is definitely being made possible by the incarnates. That barrier is definitely useful. I'm gonna try to not use that. I accidentally detoggled my damage buff power, so I'm kind of mad at myself. This is one of the reasons like it's hard to talk in game at the same time. I'm not always paying attention. Oh wow. I've got. Oh, I don't know how. This might end in death. I've got I've got 3 elite bosses on me. Okay, this was a little bit more action than I was planning on happening in this. I did not realize that this arc was like this when I got it. I was trying to do like a nice easy arc just to play around, but wow. Yeah, I'm eating my Skittles. I'm popping defense debuffs and stuff. Luckily, it got a fast recharging heal. And the skill abuse is rampant right now. Yeah, those defense debuffs, they start eating into your health. What I'm worried about is running out of endurance here. As I'm spamming all these attacks trying to stay alive, I might need to bow out of here. Yeah, that was bound to happen. Yeah, probably 3 level 53 elite bosses is a bit much for her. That being said, she held her own for quite a while. I think with this one, we're not going to do that again. We're just going to. I was not expecting that level of resistance inside the map. So probably three elite bosses. Probably not. Not a good plan for her to try to fight by herself. That would be it. That would be a. I hadn't noticed there were that many in there. I thought there's just 2, kind of like last time, and she handled 2 elite bosses quite well. But that 3rd elite boss, especially that Minotaur, which has got some, looks like it's got some nifty new tricks, probably was not the best plan. We're just gonna teleport over there. Teleport macro. And we're gonna sling down in there. Yeah. And I did have the res power, but they have a res power that can be used as a res power or also as a self heal, effectively giving you 2 heals. So I love the dark armor revamp, especially for sentinels. And that's basically you get a soul transfer and obscure sustenance. And that was really nifty, but yeah, I was using it to stay alive. I really should have ran. I should have backed out of that and ran, but I have a tendency that I want to duke it out. Not just in game, but in real life. So we're just trying to get the search the cameras for anything of interest. We're just going to try to find anything of interest right now, man. So we're just going to look for, there's possibly some glowies or something around here. She has enough invisibility that I'm not, luckily it's not there. That's not a glowy. She's got enough invisibility going that I'm not worried. We're just going to scooch past here. Oh, we found the anything of interest. What the hell is that? What the creepy tentacle horror, body horror, creepy thing is what the? It's like a sentinel. It's like a Nictus possessed Sybil with tentacles coming out of their back. Oh, that's just creepy. Well, we're going in the right direction. So I think we're going to find the anything of interest. I'm going to see if the anything of interest is a glowy. But I have a feeling that anything of interest is defeating that creepy woman. Ooh, oh my gosh. That is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. This game is such a pretty game. I I think the Sister Valeria stuff was part of was launched just before the game shut down. I feel like it was. But this is just such a beautiful game. And it still holds up after all these years. There she is. I have a feeling that, or anything of interest, is this chick right here. Oh, she vanished. So we just need to defeat these Nictuses here. Looks like the shadow crystal's gotta go. Ooh, gained a level. Yeah, running this outside of Ouroboros might be really great for leveling up lobbies. I'm always looking at different ways of leveling up lobbies that is not AE. I'm just so bored of AE. Like, I'm just bored of it. And I get to it in other videos. Like, my ADHD, I crave novelty. Sameness is really hard for me. It's difficult for me. I get bored rather easily. We gotta defeat the Crystal's Guardians. I think too, though, in some ways I did pick a good, because these attacks are darkness attacks and dark armor. Oh, there she is. Oh no, that's a different one. Uh oh. I think I got an ambush on me without realizing I want to come up. Oh, and it's a doozy. I've got multiple elite bosses again. What's gonna be my strategy for this? Because that didn't work out so well last time. I feel like I need to pull pull them somewhere or separate them out so that there's not like tons of them all at once coming at me. So let's go like right here and let's see if we can thin the herd somewhat. Well, we could thin the herd by flying and getting some of the elevated flying ones rid of them first. Oh shoot, I got grounded by something. Yeah, this might end in disaster. I got grounded into a huge mob. Yeah, I don't know how much longer this is gonna last without me getting killed again. Yeah. This might be too difficult to do by myself. It'd be fine with normal mobs, but multiple elite bosses coming at me all at once. Actually, that's just one. Actually, I think I may have taken out some of them already. It looks like it's mobs, and we'll give it another shot. Yeah, this might be too hard to do. I have a tendency to I'll pick things, but oh, that looks pretty rather easy, and then it'll have stuff like that in it. It's like, oh, how about waves of elite bosses coming at you? This could be a really fun one though to do with a team. Like bring a team of people in with you, some friends, a small team. Like four really good players could really handle that well. Oh, I forgot to wonder if I've got my all right. I don't think I have Team Transporter in this guy, so I'll give it another shot. I'm hoping that maybe that the ambush will kick in when I get into the area, and I can stay towards the front. And as they come in, I can take them out. And if not, it's an if not. Yeah, I certainly wasn't expecting. This is a tough mission. I was not expecting multiple elite bosses. That's really way outside the normal for the game. But to be fair, considering how overpowered everything is in the game, there should exist challenges like that. Because otherwise, the game's just a simple cakewalk. Oh, yeah, it looks like they came to the front door looking for me. This might work out then. Hi, you found me. Looks like they came to the front door looking for me, so... She's got pretty good range. The Phantom Pets have proven rather good, especially in tight spots. The one Phantom does a lot of buffing and healing. I'm hoping that defeating these guys will do the trick. I might lower the settings though to complete this arc because I was not expecting all these elite bosses. Like, oh, here they come. So they're coming for me. Alright, here we go. I think the trick with this guy is going to be to try to... Okay, they're not fighting again, so aggressive. I think the problem was in that other cave is I'd skipped so many mobs that I was trying to find a really good spot to fight from. And more are coming here, so I want to try to make short work of him before his buddies get here. This is a little bit better because it thinned the herd. One elite boss I can handle. And I've shown myself I can even handle two elite bosses. But a third elite boss... Okay, good. The third elite boss, that was just too much. And plus the extra mobs around them. So yeah, we were able to finish that. Good, I thought I was going to have to abandon this mission. Maybe a future strategy to use with that one is to rush back to the beginning or get killed on purpose and come in the beginning and have them come to you as opposed to trying to fight them in that space with all those extra mobs to attack you. Alright. Oh! We finished it! That was chapter 1. There's a chapter 2, and I'm wondering, I think this is a good place to put a pin in it. I'll pick up of chapter 2 next time. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to lower it. We're just going to do it as a normal ×1. I'm just doing it for the story. And, you know, for this one's just got so much going on. A +2 ×1, or maybe +2 ×2. That's 2 × 1 strikes way too freaking easy for her. There we go. We'll just lower it to ×2 there. So we'll pick up. I'll probably pick up with that part 2 of this arc. Well, thanks for watching. That was kind of fun. That was a lot of fun, actually. I really do like these pets. They are not the flashy pets other people pick all the time, but I enjoy them. They're very good combat pets, and they seem to be able to take a lot of punishment. Alright folks, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.